The Statue of Blessings is a new item that has been added to Stardew Valley 1.6. All you need is the farming mastery and you can make this statue. In this video I am going to showcase every single blessing the statue can give you, 7 in total, and how you can utilize each of these blessings to their maximum potential. So let's jump straight into the video and let's start with the very first blessing. The first blessing we're going to talk about is the Prismatic butterfly. There's a 1 in 7 chance you will get this blessing, and this will activate a prismatic butterfly to be found anywhere in Stardew Valley. Now I was lucky enough to find mine just north of the farm. All you have to do is bump into the butterfly and it will give you one of 2 mega buffs. The first buff it can give you is a prismatic shard. The second buff it can give you is 0.5% of your total earnings, maxed out at 50,000 gold. It's also worth noting that you may enter various map types only to find that you can't reach the prismatic butterfly. Not to worry, just reload the area and it should respawn at a location that you can bop into it and pick up that fantastic buff. Next blessing we are going to talk about is the blessing of infinite energy. That's right, it doesn't matter what energy consuming task you perform, your energy bar will not falter, not one bit. My advice is when you get this buff to cut down as many trees as possible. I have an iridium axe here with the swift enchant, and as we can see I'm making very short work of all these trees and it doesn't consume any energy at all. It is the perfect buff for wiping out trees on your farm or all over Stardew Valley. Next buff we are going to talk about is the blessing of speed. This is going to give you 0.5 speed, which is basically half of a coffee or half of a triple shot espresso. This buff may be a little bit small compared to other speed goods that you can take, but it is stackable, which makes this buff absolutely amazing. We just gave our horse a carrot there, so our horse will now go faster. But if we take a triple shot espresso and a spicy eel, our speed will also stack. As we can see, we can now go extremely fast on our horse, and we can get from A to B very quickly indeed. You don't even have to use the horse to make use of this buff. Your character's movement speed will also dramatically increase. Then if you have any books of power, they can also stack on as well. At the moment, there are 2 different types of books of power you can get to increase your speed. You have the book of power that can increase horse speed, which is called Horse the Book, and you also have Way of the Wind Part 1 and 2 that can further increase your character's speed. This buff isn't just great for roaming around Stardew Valley, it's also great for going into the mines, especially if you need to dodge enemies. It always pays to be fast. We are now going to talk about the blessing of the waters, and this basically makes your first 3 catches of any fish in the game trivial. If you're having trouble catching certain fish in this game, look no further, the blessing of waters has you covered. It will decrease legendary fish difficulty by a whopping 25%, and it will decrease difficulty of all other non-legendary type fish by 50%. In addition, for all fish, including the legendaries, the progress bar decreases 50% slower, which is the same as having 2 trap bobbers equipped. My advice, if you have this buff and you want to make some money, go straight up to the volcano summit here, put on some challenge bait, equip 2 cork bobbers, and make sure you have your mastery enchant or your preserve enchant, depending on which way you want to go. As we can see, because I have the challenge bait, the first catch for these lava eels is totally trivial. I only had to move my bar a little bit. And I'm going to put up 3 lava eel now every single time. It'll just use up 1 blessing charge. That's 9 lava eels for me that I can smoke up and sell for an absolute ton of money. On the 3rd attempt here, I don't even have to move my fishing bar. That's how easy it is to catch lava eels with the blessing of waters effect. It is an absolute game changer for fishing, especially if you're not great at the fishing minigame. Now you have no excuse to not catch all of the fish in the game. The next blessing is especially potent if you're looking to work up the friendship with all of the NPCs. This is the blessing of friendship, and this will basically give you bonus points when you speak to the NPCs. Bear in mind, it does not mean when you gift NPCs, it's only when you talk to them. Normally when you talk to an NPC, you get 20 friendship points. This blessing will triple that for the entire day, which is equivalent to giving someone a gold star-liked gift. So when you speak to someone with the blessing, you will get 60 friendship points. So if you need to cap off a few more NPCs to get perfection to learn those recipes, this blessing will really help you out. It even helps Penny get pregnant with new babies. Should we go for another baby gamer gar? Absolutely, Penny. Next blessing is called Blessing of Fangs. Now this blessing is an absolute game changer for combat builds, especially critical hit combat builds. This will increase your crit chance by 10%. It's a huge gain. So I'm now going to show you a critical hit build here. We have the Iridium Needle with Artful, so we can use a special ability 50 times faster. We've also given it 3 Aquamarines, so it has a plus 14 crit chance. We're going to use the Golden Spur, which is an artifact, and this will give us a speed buff every time we crit, and we're going to crit almost every attack. For Combine Rings, we have an Aquamarine Ring, increased critical hit chance, and we also have a Savage Ring. We get a speed buff when we slay a monster. The next ring is more or less the same, with a critical hit chance, except when enemies die they explode. Using this build, we are going to absolutely tear through any dungeon in the game. We can also combine the Magic Rock Candy and the Triple Shot Espresso for more speed. For the combat perks, we're going to go with Desperado, critical strikes are deadlier, and Scout, 50% increase to critical hit chance. What you're going to see now is myself massacring some of the hardest enemies in the game, but before we go into the mines, we are going to take a Monster Musk, which will dramatically increase the spawn rate of monsters in the mines, and we're going to take our buff food as well. My character is now super fast, super strong. As we can see, it just takes 1 or 2 swings for the crit to occur. When that crit occurs, these enemies will disintegrate before me. Not only that, but when these enemies die, they will explode, wiping out any nodes near them. The explosion also damages other enemies, and if that explosion kills those enemies, they will also explode, which means if you fight weaker enemies, there's a very good chance you can start a massive explosion chain, and you can disintegrate floors within seconds. Finally, we're going to talk about the final blessing here, which is the Blessing of Luck, and it just gives you a luck +1, which is equivalent to what a lucky ring can give you. So you can think of this as a 3rd lucky ring. I'm going to show you a luck build now. I have 2 combined rings here. Each one has a lucky ring installed. That's +2 luck right there. I'm also going to take a key seasoned ginger ale. This will give me a whopping luck +2. We're also going to take the Magic Rock Candy, which gives a luck +5. So we now have stacked on an absolute ton of luck. Today is also a super lucky day, and we also have the special charm as well, which gives us another permanent luck increase. So when you stack all of these together, my advice is to just stock up on staircases and go for a treasure room deep dive. Every couple of floors you get will give you a treasure room. You can get auto grabbers, prismatic shards, you can get crystallariums, you can even get auto petters, which are absolutely amazing. So you can come down here and get the best items the game has to offer with ease when you come in here with tons of luck. So that is it. That is all of 7 blessings with the Statue of Blessings. Let me know in the comments if you think the statue is overpowered or broken. I think it is. Huge shout out to all my channel members. Thanks so much for your support, and I will see you all in the next Stardew Valley video. I hope you all have a great week, and bye for now.